Okay. Hello, we are live.
Yes, we are.
Now I can see that people are already here, which is pretty exciting. So let's just wait for a few minutes for others to join. While we wait, everyone who is already listening, feel free to just say hello in the chat and share with us where you're tuning in from. Just say hello.
Yeah, and feel free just to confirm, can everyone just write the word yes or that you can hear us correctly?
And see us.
Properly.
And
see
yes.
us, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, yep.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Seems like everything is working.
Okay, great.
This is one of the amazing things about running a live webinar. People are tuning in from all around the world. London, Scotland, Austria, Germany, Canada, US. So, yeah.
Okay, I see a message that someone can't see the chat, so I guess it's closed for you. On the right side of your screen, in the upper corner, you should have a button Open Chat. So click that one and you'll
But I
see
think
it.
the chat is maybe private, Kiki. So I don't think that everyone can see each other's messages. I think, anyway.
Yes, you're right. I set it to public now. So just during these greetings, and I will set it to private again.
Okay, perfect. Let's wait another few more minutes. I can just say that I'm tuning in from Arizona, not from Sweden this time, compared to the last webinar. So I'm enjoying the beautiful weather that Arizona is offering.
Yes, this is live.
Yeah, right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning. What time is it? It's 6 p.m. for you and
6 p.m. Yes.
Yes.
There's 9 hours time difference. Okay. I think let's wait another minute and we can, Kiki, you can kick it off.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, this is pretty exciting, to be honest. We have people from everywhere.
This is my second webinar, live webinar. The first one was about just Brands Gateway related. This is now, but this is your guys' first webinar, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are excited.
Let's just bring a lot of value to our listeners. So it's going to be all good.
Okay, it's already 3 minutes past 6. So I think we can kickstart the webinar now.
Let's do it.
Okay, so welcome everyone again. I'm Christina and I'll be the moderator of this webinar. First of all, thank you for taking the time to join us today as we talk about how to build a highly converting Shopify fashion store. I have to say that it's a pleasure to have here two special guests, Michael Tiken, founder and CEO of Brands Gateway, and Daniel Neshkovsky, founder and CEO of Lemon Dev, as you can guess from their t-shirts there.
Yeah, my logo is not that as visible as Daniel's.
Yeah,
I did
true.
my best too.
Okay, so I'll just present the agenda very briefly. So first, I'll give a word to Michael and Daniel to briefly introduce themselves and tell us how the partnership between Brains Gateway and Lemon Dev started. After the introductions, we'll start with the discussion on different questions during which Michael and Daniel will share their expert opinion, thoughts, and insights on what can contribute to building a highly converting Shopify store. In the end, we'll have a Q&A session of around 15 minutes. So during the discussion, everyone just feel free to prepare your questions and drop them in the chat, and we'll ensure that we cover as many as possible. Also to mention that by the end of the discussion, we'll present a special offer powered by Brands Gateway and LemonDev. So just stay tuned to learn more about that. We'll also have two informative polls. One I will share before we start the discussion, and the other one before the Q&A session. So finally, just to mention also that we will have a recording of this webinar, and it will be sent to you all by email. So if you want, you can rewatch it whenever it's convenient for you. So I think now we can kickstart with the introductions. Michael, let's start with you. You can tell us briefly about yourself and Brands Gateway.
Yes, thanks for the intro, Kiki. So Michael here, the CEO of Brands Gateway. For anyone tuning in here that maybe isn't familiar what we do, Brands Gateway is a sourcing and distribution company of luxury fashion goods. So we allow dropshippers or businesses like yourself to resell luxury brands like Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Versace, and 100 plus different other brands. So we made it pretty much very easy and convenient for businesses to resell these brands without any restriction. We handle the sourcing, the distribution, and their dropship partners handle the sales pretty much. So they get to do the fun part while we do the manual work behind the scenes. So that's a little intro about myself. If you, like Kiki mentioned, if you have any questions, I'll go through a little bit about Brands Gateway towards the end of the webinar. Daniel?
Okay, and if you can just share how the partnership between Brands Gateway and LemonDev started.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. So I met Daniel doing the Web Summit in Lisbon a few years back, and the reason, well, we hit it off pretty well because of his, I think, well, to go back a little bit, we noticed a lot of the pain points from our drop shippers that we were working on, that they needed help with developing their Shopify stores when it comes to designing it, implementing certain features, and so on. So we were looking for Shopify agencies that we could partner with, and we looked around North America and Europe. And it's usually larger agencies that they couldn't really keep the quality of service, the customer service that we were aiming for, number one. Number two was the pricing was just out of the world, because I was able to negotiate the pricing on the behalf of all the drop shippers. Meeting Daniel, he had the same company vision as we had, to deliver high quality products and services. And yeah, we grabbed a beer in the Web Summit, we hit it off, and then it was like, okay, let's develop this into something further. And as of now, I think, Daniel, you have built around 50 plus Shopify stores for drop shippers, and I've never heard anything negative about your delivery. So looking forward to continuing our partnership.
We'll try to keep that way.
We'll do our best.
Of course.
Yeah, that's how we met pretty much.
Awesome.
We got this partnership going.
So yeah, thank you, Michael. Daniel, if you can just also briefly introduce yourself and tell us more about LemonDev.
Of course. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm Daniel. I'm the CEO of LemonDev. As Michael and Christina mentioned, I've been working for e-commerce for about maybe 7 or 8 years now. Been building a lot of themes, templates, websites, and all about the developing, of course. So I'm more than happy to be sharing this experience with you and discussing this with Michael, so we can tell you a bit more on how you can build a highly converting Shopify stores.
Yeah, thank you both for the introductions. I'm sure that everyone here is excited to hear your viewpoints on the questions that I'll ask. So, before starting with the first question, let's just take a few minutes to just answer this poll here. Let me share it. By the way, the chat is on private now so that I can share the poll here so that everyone can see it. So, just take 10 to 15 seconds to answer. This is something that we would like to know more about what obstacles you're facing at the moment. So you can choose from the answers that are given there. Okay, this is interesting.
Okay, seems like the top three. Oh, yeah. Marketing. I have some marketing tips towards the end of the webinar as well. So giving out some pointers there.
Yeah. Okay, I guess everyone answered. So yeah, we have the biggest percentage is for marketing my online store.
And then building my online store. So there you go, Daniel. There seems like a lot of people need help with their Shopify store. So yeah, okay.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, everyone, for answering. I think that now we can start with the discussion. So I think that we can all agree that customers' trust is a very important aspect when it comes to conversion. So my first questions would be more towards this. How can store owners gain the trust of their potential customers? What are the fundamental components that every online store should have? So Michael, let's hand it over to you now.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm gonna give from my background from working with hundreds of our own drop shippers, and something that I've really noticed over the past few years being in the business, and it's really two things. It's the contact us page. I would say that a lot of business owners don't really put a lot of energy in or focus on, and then also the about us page. With the about us page, we suggest that you keep it personal. Put a personal touch to it, considering to introduce yourself. Why did you get into this business? Give a little bit of a background story. A lot of dropshippers that are joining, they keep it into one or two sentences. Like I said, explain the person behind the business. And e-commerce in general now is becoming more and more of a personal touch. So why did you get into the business? What is it that you're offering? Mentioning, don't be afraid mentioning that you're, if you decide to work with Brands Gateway, don't be afraid of mentioning that you are a luxury fashion outlet. There's no negative preference when saying the word outlet. People nowadays are looking for a bargain, and saying that, hey, okay, this is me. This is why I went into the fashion industry. We're running a luxury fashion outlet. You can find past season inventory at 50 to 70% off of retail. Explaining, a little bit about you, about the business, and why did you start it. That's one thing about the About Us page. Secondly is the Contact Us page. I think that's the number one page that job shippers oversee. They just have a normal contact form. And Kiki, you're showing two examples here. So
Yes.
the one to the left is a very good example that we suggest that you have. And displaying your operating hours Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. makes it look more professional, trustworthy. Having a WhatsApp number, for example, as well. I know that maybe you don't want to put out your personal WhatsApp number where people can call you or message you anytime. In that case, just get a SIM card and have a secondary phone. You can buy it for 70, 80. It doesn't have to be an iPhone, but just so that you have a WhatsApp number available for it. Having an email displayed is another important factor. And then, the contact form, because most drop shippers right now, they only have the contact form. They don't have any of the other details that I mentioned previously. And you always need to put yourself in their shoes. The same way you're able to reach out to us at Brands Gateway and also to Daniel from Lemon Dev, that, okay, these are the working hours. Oh, I can message them on WhatsApp or even call them. I can book. Well, in our case, you can book a demo call, but I'm guessing when you're running an e-commerce store, you don't need to have a demo call. But just being available for your visitors. So those are, I think, two of the most important aspects of gaining trust, the first steps of gaining trust. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see the second slide there. Okay. And then the second part is also clearly stating your returns and having the policies displayed on your site, your terms and conditions, your privacy policy, the refunds and returns, clearly explaining, okay, how does a return work with us? At Brands Gateway, for example, we offer 14 days returns from the day that your customer receives the package. And that's one of the strongest points when running an e-commerce store in general, that you're able to offer returns. So really having a clear structured policy. There's a perfect example where the left side versus the right side, that have it done in paragraph. Don't just copy paste a bunch of text trying to make it confusing for your visitors. Have it clearly structured so that they feel confident. Okay, this seems to be a easy company to buy from in case something happens if I change my mind. The privacy in terms of services, Kiki, is also an important factor to consider. You can visit other websites for inspiration. A help desk and standard FAQ site. What are the top 10 most frequently asked questions? Do you offer worldwide shipping with us? Yes, and so on. And having a blog page is also really good, where you can put out some good quality content, top 10 Christmas gifts to your spouse, for example. Putting in some work into the content is a perfect example as well. And then the third one was, I think, also the footer of the website. The footer is the bottom of the Shopify store or the e-commerce store, and this is where you're basically creating a bunch of shortcuts to the important pages. As you can see on the examples on the left side, this is one of our dropshippers that have it clearly stated. Okay, about the privacy policy, the returns, the about us page, the contact us page. Around 80% of visitors that go to 80% of visitors that visit a website for the first time, they scroll down to the footer to gain information. Now, for the bad example to the right, they don't have any details mentioned, and that immediately earns distrust of if someone is trying to buy a product from you, because you don't have anything of your company's policy mentioned there. Another thing is to, besides the menus, is to add the social media logos with weekly activities, have a link to your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook page. Display clearly your email, phone number, trust badges from Trustpilot, for example. What else you can do is have important selling points. So having a logo that explains that you offer worldwide shipping, 14 days returns, policies, your payment providers having the Visa, MasterCard logos, PayPal, whatever you decide to use. And me personally, I would suggest that you also consider having a live chat feature. WhatsApp has it for businesses, and Facebook Messenger as well. So having a live chat feature is also really, really important, so that customers can, for example, ask you for measurement questions with our inventory, and we can provide you those details as well.
Great. Thank you, Michael, for sharing this valuable information. So the next question is actually for both of you. So here it goes. When it comes to building a brand identity for a fashion business, what elements do you believe are indispensable? So Michael, let's go with you first. What's your take on this?
Okay, yeah, the brand name. Yeah, so keep the brand name simple. So keep it short, brandable, something that is easy to remember. My suggestion is that keep it under 20 characters, avoid hyphens and numbers. Here's a perfect example here, marmaladestyle.com. You know, it's easy, it's short, it's memorable versus, I want to say it's 3shit.com. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, but maybe they had a different way to pronounce it. But you know, just keep it short, and if possible, include some SEO keywords in your domain. My suggestion is this: when trying to research for a domain, there's a lot of free services, a domain generator that you can use. Just Google domain generator, and you can get some inspiration, putting some keywords, and then the software will give you some suggestions. Secondly, there's a website called expireddomains.com where you can enter certain keywords and it will list you domains that weren't renewed, let's say an hour ago, a week ago, a month ago. And that's how I found brandscaper.com, was that I went inside expireddomains.com, I wrote brands, the keyword brands, and then hundreds of suggestions came up. And then I was surprised that brandscaper.com was available. And I think it was available like 2 or 3 hours ago. And then I just went immediately and bought it for $10 for it. So that's my feedback on when it comes to trying to find a domain name and a brand name for your business.
Daniel can share how he found Lemon Dev.
Oh yeah, how did you find Lemon Dev?
I will tell you later, by the way.
Okay, let's move on to the next. So, Daniel,
yeah, it's an interesting story about how that actually it should be clean and simple. That's everything nowadays. So it should be kept as clean and simple. So even here, as we can see on this slide, for the left, we have a really good example of a logo, which it should show you actually how it can grab your attention and makes a strong impression. So that's really important. Where on the right, it's a bit blurry maybe, and we should be really careful about what kind of logo we're putting on the store based on the layout. It shouldn't be too stretched, shouldn't be too even long. And something that I can mention on from the left side, the logo, as it clean, it can be used later as a badge or a favicon or something like that. So we can go later on into more things where we can use our logo.
One thing I wanted to point out as well on the left side is that they have a slogan as well called Fashion Unlimited. You know, it's two simple words. So having a logo is amazing. Then if you come up with a simple slogan, having that under the logo, included in the logo, is also a really good idea to have.
I agree 100%.
Great. Thank you both. So we are moving on to the next question. And Daniel, since you're the expert in store development, could you share your perspective on the following? In order to create a store that is fully functional and user-friendly, what do store owners need to focus on most? So basically, what are the elements that can contribute to building a highly converting store?
Yes. So everything so far that Michael mentioned about creating the pages for the contact, having those information, we can go to the point where we need to think about the layout, the design of the store, and what it should have. So we will be focusing on 3 things that we will go through. First is the homepage, and this one we can see 2 examples again here. It's good to have, and really you can see that it outstands something. From the left side, we have a slider. Usually we can go with the new arrivals or showing products that are in at the moment, or something that can be maybe around the marketing, but we should be clear on what we are putting on the homepage. The second section is about the brands we are selling, and the third is about gender, depending on, of course, the dropshipper who wants to focus more on women or the man, and then place those as categories. So it's a pretty good example here on the left where you can see the consistency. It's pretty clean, and it's really good looking store where users can actually filter through the homepage. So the next thing that we can go through should be the main structure. Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel. I just wanted to add something else on the homepage. Sorry for interrupting there. From my experience, from dealing with the job shippers that we work with, always think about the CTA of a banner, for example. One of the biggest mistakes that I see with our job shippers that with the homepage specifically, they create a image with shoes, and then when their users click on it, they have 500 pairs or 600 different models of shoes.
Yeah.
So we always suggest, that be very specific. If you want to promote shoes, be more specific. Do men's sneakers, women pumps, for example. Because if you just put shoes or clothing, we have sent you quite a few customers that have done that, and then you arrange the entire layout with specific CTA. So be more specific on the homepage. Where do you want to send your visitors?
So it can take them usually to all the products and then get all messy and not going somewhere. Exactly. I agree 100%. And
yeah, but also,
sorry,
I wanted to add that on the example on the right, basically the homepage just has 2 buttons, and immediately we can see the footer. So it's pretty short and doesn't consist of valuable sections or information about the website.
Yeah, because if they click on women, I don't see the CTA there. I think it says men and then women. But if they click on, for example, men, we have over 7,000 products. So if they click on that, then they're going to have 7,000 products and 80 different categories to browse through. So keep it specific. Have a specific CTA, a purpose on how you want to navigate your users through the customer journey of your Shopify store.
That's true. Moving on would be the header or the main navigation. Here, again, we have 2 examples. Here, I think we should be focused on how we create those navigations and how they are separated into gender, man and woman, based on then go with the category and then the subcategories. This is really important so that people can easily find what they're looking for, search for something that is actually in front of you. And just something else that I will add here would be not just having those, like mainly the navigation. It should include more pages like FAQs or contact us or about page. It's good to have a feature where we have the currency converter. And I think that from the right side, you can see different kind of navigation. It can get confusing. There are a lot of going on, and it just won't make sense that I can search through something and then I open a different kind of sub navigation, for example. So we can move on to the next slide. It would be the product page. This one maybe is the most important page, and I would be focusing on the pictures along with what it should consist that product page. We can see the examples here. I will go the one from the right, that it's just a big picture, and then first of all you can see that you need to scroll down to see the other pictures, which is really wrong. I believe everything should be put in the first page, and the user shouldn't scroll that much to find or search for what they're looking for or just to see a product. Using the size guide as a feature, putting the sizes there, everything should be visible. The CTA button is big, which should be. And what I can mention here on the product page, maybe it's good to have, while on the description, it should be having maybe the refund policy and showing the time of when does the product can be shipped. These are, I think, Michael, you would agree with me that it's a good point to notice or to tell people when they will arrive those products.
Yeah, 100% on that. So having, the estimated delivery time, we at Brands Gateway, we guarantee delivery times. Well, depending if it's within the EU, if we ship the products within Europe, it's 1 to 3 delivery days. North America, like Canada, US, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 days. And then the rest of the world, like Australia or Southeast Asia, around 5 to 7 days. But in general, we suggest that, have it displayed on the homepage or product page, delivery time anywhere between 3 to 5 days, and that's pretty much standard in the e-commerce.
But it's a really important
practices.
information to have, so people can understand and be more secure on that part.
Yeah.
So moving on, design page, I think Michael already mentioned. It's really good to have a organized, even about us, contact us. When we're working in the fashion industry, it should have a good designer brands page where I can just go there and filter through every brand that I want to. On the right, there is a similar example to the left one, which is maybe they're trying to do something with the pictures, but it's not clear enough. In my opinion, it should be filter where you can actually click and point to directly to the brand that you want.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you. So the next question is for Daniel. What do you consider crucial for improving the mobile shopping experience for customers and as well for increasing the conversion rate?
Okay.
I can see Michael here.
Yes.
Okay,
We can wait for a
let's
minute.
just wait a second or two. Okay, guys, in the meantime, just go ahead and ask your questions in the chat here.
I'm here. Okay, so I'm at WeWork in Arizona. Considering WeWork, established, but they really don't have good Wi-Fi here. So sorry about that. So I got disconnected for some reason.
Okay, so I asked the question regarding the improving the mobile experience here for customers and for increasing the conversion rate. So Daniel, you can go ahead.
While we are creating the store, everything is designed for, meaning the layout, ready for the pages to be done, or having them, like as I mentioned, the homepage, collection page, product page, everything should be also responsive, meaning that it's really important to have it in various screen sizes and devices. Nowadays, everybody is using the mobile. We can see from the examples, what I want to point out maybe it's to be careful on how we present and do the like discount codes, marketing and stuff like that. Because on the left side, you can see something is overlapping, which is not looking really good. We should be really careful on how we're putting those in placement where we are talking about the mobile experience. Swiping down or searching for the products can be really sometimes a bit tricky to find, so we need to be careful on how we are doing that.
Okay, moving on to
the checkout page. This one is really important. The last place where your customer will be to buy the product. So the first thing that we need to mention are the payment options. So they need to be visible more and see what are the payment options that we have. Second thing to be mentioned, maybe to share some more info or link where they can find more information about the refund policy, so they will be feeling more secure. And then the third thing should be the inputs, for example, the email or the number, because later on you can use them for marketing resources or as leads, so you can send more emails.
And we need those. And we need those. We need those details when shipping out your products as well. So it's really important to have it, because sometimes it does happen where dropship partners by us, they don't include the email or WhatsApp number. Then it's difficult for us to actually ship out the products, because we need that when booking the FedEx or DHL label. one thing that I wanted to add on the checkout page, that don't require the visitors to create an account by your Shopify store, because probably 25 to 30% of the dropshippers that we work with, we tell them like, don't require a account creation by you. Just offer a guest checkout, because one of the biggest turnoffs specifically at the checkout page, if they're ready to buy, a Dolce Gabbana handbag for $1,000, don't make them go through a whole sign up process. Just let them check out, and then when you have the email and the phone number, you can still retarget that. But don't require a login account creation. Just let them have a guest checkout process that is seamless, one page. Don't go through 4 different pages. That first is the contact, and then the shipping, and so on. So keep it one page, simple, guest checkout, and keep it clean.
I agree with that.
Thank you. So I think that we covered all of the aspects that need to be taken into consideration when building a Shopify store. And I'm sure that our attendees here are eager to hear how they can build their store fast and without any obstacles. So Daniel, what would be your advice on this?
So definitely should be hiring a professional or Lemon Dev to do your store, your Shopify store actually, because of these points where it's time saving, building the customization, the technical support, and everything that we mentioned so far would be coming in for the high conversion. People who are working in this field, they can, they understand this work, and it will really save your time and prepare your store in a lot faster way. So that's where Leaf comes in.
Okay, you can tell us more about the benefits that Lemon Dev and Leaf bring to the table.
Thank you, Christina. And what we offer actually, and what we are doing, having the time frame of 5 to 7 days, that we can create a fully customizable and beautiful designed website store with, of course, products from Brands Gateway. We have automatic category creation and mapping, the mega menu setup, automatic photo adjustment, and automatic page creation, which can save you a lot of time. Going through those points, I would just stand out the moment where the automatic photo adjustment, we know from Michael that different kind of pictures are coming from a different kind of vendors, and it's kind of hard to deliver them into the store that they can look nice. Well, we have done some work, and with the automatic photo adjustment, there is a consistency in the layout, and the products are all the same. So that's one of the good features.
I think that's one of the most beneficial features that you created with our type of inventory, because having let's say in the category page, where if they go to clothing, women dresses, so that all the images are not different sizes, which makes it look a little bit unprofessional. And that's really a Shopify theme. So depending on the theme that you install, but specifically with Leaf, the theme that you created for our inventory, everything is perfectly aligned, perfect, segmented, and the iframe of the images, they're perfectly aligned. Put it that way. It doesn't have, So great job on that.
Thank you, Michael. I agree on that. And beside that, we have the size guide, also that is in a cooperation with Brands Gateway, the mega menu setup, which is not just a simple navigation menu, where you can also put some images, banners there. So it's kind of good with a lot of features in it.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel, for giving us all of the details about LemonDev and the theme that you developed. So I think that we can move on to the last question, and this one goes to Michael. So aside from building a fully functional store with all of the elements that Daniel mentioned previously, what else do you think is required for increasing the conversion of a fashion store?
Yeah, so this is where Brands Gateway really shows its power. And one of the having a high converting fashion store, it's really a lot about it is what is it that you're really offering to your users, and this is what makes Brandscape unique. We have over 17,000 unique SKUs for your business to offer. I'm gonna try to share my screen here if it's possible. Let me see, so that I think it's a lot easier. Let me see if everyone can see my screen now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is what Brandscape really does. So it's all about what type of inventory you're offering as well. Being able to offer luxury fashion brands, like I said, here are some examples of what we offer: Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, Versace, and so on, at really highly discounted rates, is one of the most important aspects when running a e-commerce store. High quality goods. Being able to work with a supplier that wants to partner with you, that believes in growing together. Here at Brands Gateway, we offer brainstorming sessions with all our drop shippers, where we book a 1-hour call with them, discuss a little bit about different marketing tactics, what works, and so on for other drop shippers. But yeah, being able to have an e-commerce store with attractive products, because it's one thing having a online store with fast fashion brands that no one really knows about, so where you need to spend more of your marketing budget telling the brand story, compared to what we offer, which are luxury brands like I said, Dolce & Gabbana. It's a lot easier to sell a Dolce & Gabbana t-shirt than having something that is fast fashion. The price points are different. You need to be more niche. Your target audience might not be as big compared to selling a t-shirt for, I don't know, $20, for example. But the profit margins are a lot higher, number one. Number two, you don't have to generate 20 orders or 40 orders a day to make a good living out of this. The average drop shipper by us, they do anywhere between 2 or 3 orders a day. They don't need to generate 20, 30, 40, because the average order value with the inventory that we offer is around $330 is the average order value. And, like I said, we have over 17,000 different products to offer from 100 different brands. Check out what we do have in stock, around 80 different categories. And I wanted to explain to you shortly actually how you make money as a dropshipper, in case no one, maybe some people, this is the first time they're discovering Brands Gateway. But here's an example that let's take this Dolce & Gabbana t-shirt, for example. The Brands Gateway price is $157. The market price, or the retail price, is $628. And the way you as a drop shipper with us makes money is by adding a markup on top of the Brands Gateway price. We usually suggest a 2.1 to 2.5 markup of the Brands Gateway price. So we will probably tell you that you should sell this t-shirt for anywhere between $350 to $400, and then you keep the difference. And then on top of that, we also offer marketing material that you can use for your online store. So here are some of the premium content we offer. This is something that we update on bi-weekly basis. The photos, I think it's updated every 2 weeks, that you can use for homepage banners, marketing purposes, for Facebook and so on. So these ones are completely free to use if you're a drop shipper with us. And same thing with the videos that we offer. So if anyone has questions about Brands Gateway, feel free to write it on the chat. I'm more than happy to go through it in details. We offer worldwide shipping. As mentioned earlier, everything is shipped with FedEx and DHL, so you can track the entire flow of the package. And yeah, that's one thing that I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Let me see. Can you pull up the slide again? Okay.
Here it is.
So like I said, if anyone has questions specifically about Brands Gateway, feel free to mention it in the chat here. Secondly, that is about making data-based decisions So number one, having Google Analytics, really important, having Google Analytics installed in your store. And that's something that obviously Daniel will help you with. And what it does, it really reveals the area of growth opportunities by uncovering the situations where it uncovers where in the customer journey your users might get stuck on. And understanding why visitors are bouncing off your website, following important metrics. So Google Analytics is really, really important to follow up. It's not enough to just install it and forget about it. Check in weekly about how's the performance going. Pretty much on your online store, you can find out things like about the gender of your visitors, the age, the interest, devices, the location of your audience. So really analyzing how the customer journey
The
is on your
abandoned
website
checkout.
is also a really important factor. Oh yeah, the abandonment checkout. So if let's say you see that 10 people visited your checkout page that added something in your cart, but 9 of them drop out. Why is that? And that's where I want to enter to. The second important tool is installing a heat mapping plugin for Shopify. And I think there's one called Lucky Orange. I believe they have it for free up to 500 visitors a month. So if you're just starting out, Lucky Orange as a Shopify plugin is amazing. It does heat mapping, so you can see exactly your visitors on what they're clicking on and where they're bouncing or leaving your website, number one. Number two, it actually records the screen on where they have clicked and how they're behaving. I personally have it on Brands Gateway, and I spend probably an hour or two a week on just watching recordings just to see if there's anything that we can optimize. So those are really those three things: finding a reliable supplier that adds a lot of value to your business, Google Analytics, data-driven decisions, and then a plugin that helps you analyze everything with heat mapping and recordings.
Great. Thank you, Michael. And I think that we've come to the moment of presenting the special offer powered by Brands Gateway and LemonDev. So you can talk about that more now. And I will share here a pop-up. It should appear on everyone's screen so that you can get the offer immediately if you want to purchase right away. Otherwise, the offer page will be also sent to you all by email. So Michael, you can just
Yeah.
want.
So this is really exciting because this is the first time we offer a combined offer like this, and Daniel was able to convince me to agree on these terms. So at Brands Gateway, we have a subscription model, or where you need to sign up to become a dropship member. We usually charge $295 a month, or 295 euros. Pretty much the currency is the same now. But to resell the inventory that we have, to gain access to the 17,000 products with all the benefits around it. So with Daniel's partnership, we decided that, okay, if you decide to sign up or use LemonDev to develop your store, you will get 6 months of our services for free, which is valued at around $1,800 or 1,800 euros. And this is honestly the first time we have ever done this. We usually do Black Friday campaigns, which is 10 or 20% off our services. But so really take the opportunity to work with Daniel, number one, so you don't have the hassle of trying to figure out building a Shopify store, number one. Number two, he will do the entire installment of our Shopify plugin for you. So you tell them, maybe Daniel, after this, you can tell them, okay, how's the onboarding
We will guide you
process?
through all the process on how we will get it up and running. We have an onboarding form as well, so we can guide you through whole process and give you additional information on how everything is working. But yes, beside the mapping and the products, we do everything mentioned here, along with a lot of new features that we are building on the Live team as well. So yeah,
pretty much you hand over the keys to
Exactly.
the business, because it's not just the pages. You do the payment gateway, you install the PayPal, if you do decide to use PayPal and so on.
All product.
But the most important aspect, the most important aspect is that we will give a coupon code for Daniel for everyone that signs up to a service, so that you, as a new dropship partner by us, you will literally get 6 months for free. And this is the first time we have ever done this. So take the opportunity, number one. Number two is that we have limited to 20 signups. So it's only valid for the first 20 signups that do it, because I don't want to have 100 drop shippers all of a sudden overnight. So take the opportunity. It's offered to the first 20 businesses that decide to work with Daniel, and he will take care of the entire installment. You tell him, okay, which categories and brands you want to import, what's the markup and all of that. The onboarding after we have signed up will be seamless. You have our support at Brands Gateway, and obviously Daniel support as well. So take the opportunity on it.
Okay, so thank you for explaining the offer more in details. On the offer page, we also have a Q&A section. So in case you need more information, you can have a look there. So before starting the Q&A session on the webinar here, I would like to share another poll. Here it is. I hope that everyone can see it. So just take 10 to 15 seconds to answer. This is something that will definitely help us learn more about what you're interested in hearing on our next webinar, so that we can focus on developing the next topic.
Okay. So a lot of people are clicking on marketing tips for dropshipping. I really want to point out again that if you do decide to work with us, we do offer a brainstorming session, an hour long. Sometimes it goes up to 90 minutes, where we really discuss about some of the marketing tips that has helped other dropshippers. So have that in consideration, that you can always book a one-on-one brainstorming call with my team at Brands Gateway, because I see that many of the answers are marketing tips for dropshipping stores.
Yeah.
And we have also very good ebooks that we have created ourselves, and like I said, marketing content of the videos and images and so on. But on the next webinar, maybe we should do it more focused on marketing as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that everyone wants to hear more about marketing.
Well, yeah, those are the two things. Is having a professional designed and developed Shopify store is one thing, and then how do you market that store? So you have two things. You have great inventory. You have a beautiful Shopify store. How do you drive traffic now? So
Okay, thank you everyone for taking the time to answer the poll. And I think that now we can start with the Q&A session. I've marked some of the questions here, so I will just start with one. I think that it should be visible for Michael and Daniel as well. Do you guys see it? So I will just read it aloud. If shipping from China takes more than 14 days, should I indicate it on the product page, or better to keep it rather less visible?
Well, I would say have it as a standard in your shipping terms. I would say you can also have it in the product page, but it really depends where you target at. So if you're targeting mostly users in China, then yes, have it in the product page. But if you're planning on marketing or selling worldwide, then it's going to be a little bit difficult having delivery times of every single country in the product page. So I think you need to be a little bit careful on that. If you're planning on selling only to China, great, do it. But if you're going to be planning on selling to Germany and China, obviously there's different delivery times. Just to say 14 days, it's around, I would say to China, it's around 7, max 10 business days with DHL and FedEx, depending on the location, obviously. But yeah, that's my answer. to that question.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Here's another one, and this is more for Daniel. So I have a store, but I need to be redone for more boutique look. Can I get a custom offer from LemonDev? I will be dropshipping accessories and clothes separately. Can I have one subscription?
Yes. So I can answer this question. We can redo, of course, the store based on your ideas that you have. We have as I mentioned, onboarding form we will go through, and yes, we can add more suppliers, as many as you want. So as you can see, at the moment we are having this offer, so maybe you can check it out.
Okay, thank you. Another one.
A lot of questions coming in now towards the end.
Yeah, I marked some of them. So if you guys notice that I haven't marked some of the questions, feel free to mark them. Here's another one for more for mobile design. Can you elaborate more on product searching for mobile? I guess this is something for search bar, if I understand correctly.
Yes, this should be pretty simple, I
Yeah.
guess, depending on the theme, of course, that we were discussing. It should strictly go to the search page where it can be like showing two products at once, so you can swipe down. Maybe if you're talking about the same thing about the searching, so that would be good for the
Yeah,
layout.
and also when it comes to the search feature as well, make it accessible on mobile, so it doesn't disappear as you're scrolling through the website, number one. And number two, this is more of a brand's gateway. It has nothing to do with the theme per se, but if people are now searching for sneakers, that with the search bar function, that only sneakers are coming up, because it's pretty common where depending on the keywords, it has to be specific. And that's something that we at Brands Gateway obviously have considered with the search bar.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What would be the first thing you suggest when trying to improve my or your Shopify store speed?
That for me,
Daniel,
yes. So
what's
first
on
thing
this?
that we can suggest should be checking up all the images that you have, especially going from the homepage, because I think if you're trying to get a banner, depending on what size it is, like can slow down the website. Other thing that when installing applications, be careful on which are good to install and doesn't take that much of the store speed. These are really important things that are good to mention, that not a lot of not all of the application can be good to be installed, and then and also not to have too many applications. That's a good one.
Okay, thank you.
How do I mark a question? But do I click like the button mark as a
The
question?
question mark. Yeah, you can use the question mark.
Okay, well, there was one here. Well, I have two questions. Let me see here. Does it show up? Do I have to click on answer live?
Yes.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, so because someone asked about Louis Vuitton, there's three brands that we can't source. It's Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Hermes. It's impossible to get past season merchandise from it. Be careful from anyone that offers you, hey, this is brand new stock from Chanel and so on, because it's either counterfeits or fakes or that it's stolen. So be very careful, because there's no way you can source brand new stock from these three brands. We are looking into sourcing pre-owned LV and Chanel bags, but that's something that is going to be happening towards the end of the year.
Okay, can I mark a question?
Okay. Yes, of course.
Okay. Entering the dropshipping market and I'm still on my brand. Should I wait until my brand identity is finished before taking advantage of this offer? You can always come to us for suggestion even while you're building the brand, because we can give you more information and details on how you can even do it maybe a bit better or just to get it improved. So whenever you feel ready, you can contact us directly and we can guide you through that as well.
Okay, here is another one. Do you plan on reviewing stores?
Do you plan on? I don't understand that question.
I think it means
Reviewing.
that if, for example, someone is interested for Lemon Dev to basically rebuild their store, if they want to, if Lemon Dev would want to review it and give feedback
Sure,
or something.
of course.
Well, yeah, that's something that we do also with the brainstorming session. So if you just sign up through our dropshipping service directly, let's say without using the Lemon Dev services or template, we do offer feedback on your e-commerce store. So it's not just the marketing, but we can also offer feedback on your e-commerce store as well.
Okay, here's one for Brands Gateway. What are the highest selling categories?
Hard question because it really depends on the season. Now when we're entering spring and summer, we have noticed a massive increase in sales of shorts, t-shirts, lighter sweaters, and so on. Now during the winter time, it's been more boots, winter jackets, scarves, and so on. So it really depends on the season of it. Right now, we're barely selling any winter products. So considering I would say it's more of the season. What sells all year round? Handbags, more of the accessories. So handbags are a top selling category without question. Sneakers is one of the top selling categories as well. So if I would have to summarize it in three, it's handbags, shoes, but with subcategories of sneakers and formal shoes, and then the third would be the simple apparels like jeans and t-shirts, for example. But then if it's seasonal products, hoodies and so on, that's more of a winter spring thing.
Okay, we have another question: how the inventory works on Brands Gateway.
Okay, let me just finish. I've seen. Okay, so with our Shopify plugin, so we have a public plugin on Shopify, and what the plugin does is it keeps the inventory pretty much in real time synchronized. So if an item is out of stock, it will be automatically adjusted on your Shopify store, and that's something that Daniel will obviously help you with when it comes to installing the Brands Gateway app. So it's very simple to install. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. You decide which categories, brands, markup, and so on. We have a lot of tutorial videos around that as well. So that's how you keep the inventory synchronized. Now, when it comes to the marketing perspective, usually we don't suggest that you market one specific product, but instead market the brand or market the category instead. So instead of taking one Dolce & Gabbana sneaker and focusing all your campaign efforts to one sneaker, try to market sneakers in general with the various brands that we offer. The reason why we have limited stocks on certain brands, it's not like that in all brands, but more of the luxury brands, is because it's past season, number one. So we can't get one t-shirt of, let's say, Dolce & Gabbana, or let's take our Gucci wallet. We can't source it 20 times. So that's why it's limited. But that's also the reason why we can offer such large discounts and profit margins for our drop shippers with, anywhere from 1.9 to 2.5 markups. That's pretty much the main reason why. And I saw another question. I just wanted to tackle that since I'm talking about this as well. Let me mark it here. Something about return on investments. Do you guys see that question or no? ROI was something about. There's someone asking about what's the ROI.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I can just. No, I forgot to mark it, but there was someone that asked about the ROI so the average customer acquisition costs for dropshippers are around 33 euros. From what I have heard from the most successful dropshippers that we work with that do 6 figures a month. So starting this business now, let's say the offer right now is 2,000 euros. So 2,000 euros will cost you the upfront investment. Like I said, you get a Shopify store professionally built with Lemon Dev, and you get 6 months free with Brands Gateway. In return, you get 17,000 unique products to sell, where the retail value is, I think we're currently over 90 million euros in retail value. So it's never been cheaper as a startup cost to start an online business as of today, I would say. And you can do it from anywhere around the world. To go back to the ROI, I think the starting marketing budget with our drop shippers, they have a marketing budget of around 500 to 700 euros a month, and then as the sales are increasing, so does the marketing budget as well. But most drop shippers get their monies back within, I would say, 60 to 90 days, but it really depends on your marketing efforts. We are, like I said, we are sourcing a distribution company. LemonDev does the development of your Shopify store, and the marketing is obviously something that we can help you with guiding you and giving you some ideas. But I would say 60 to 90 days is the average.
Okay, thank you. Here is another one, also for Brands Gateway.
How many years back are the products last year's styles? So to generalize it, I would say 2 to 3 seasons ago. Sometimes it's 1 season, but in general, 2 to 3 seasons. Sometimes we get our vendors can get shipments that are past that 4 or 5 seasons ago. But now, since it's 2023, I would probably say the new arrivals that are being uploaded are from first quarter of 2022. Is most likely from the new arrivals that are coming in. But honestly, we have noticed that the end user don't really care if it's current season. They just want a good bargain price. They don't care if the Dolce & Gabbana or the Versace handbags are from the latest collection. If they really, really want the latest collection from the last drop, they'll go to the retail stores themselves and pay original price. The whole point with the business model of Brands Gateway is that we offer passive inventory at really good discounts, so that your business can offer a successful luxury fashion outlet store, to summarize it.
Okay, how often will new brands be added?
We upload an average like 500 new arrivals a week. We recently just onboarded a new warehouse vendor that was focusing more on the medium end brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Kevin Klein, Guess, US Polo, Timberland. So we have started focusing more on the medium end brands and not just the luxury the whole time. Some of the upcoming brands is going to be like Ralph Lauren, for example, simple Ralph Lauren t-shirts and so on. But we always try to find partners that can offer new brands. So I would say we introduce around 15, 20 new brands a year, around that.
I'm scrolling here on the chat, guys. If you notice,
Let me
want
see.
to answer, just go ahead.
Okay, is it true if I advertise? Let me see here. This answer live. This is a question that we get quite often. Is it true that I advertise a product of known brand? Can I get my ad account and Google, Facebook ban? It's a yes or no question on that, honestly. So it really depends on your ad copy, because usually most of the times where your Facebook or Google ads get blocked is that if you're saying you're an official distributor of the brands, don't do that. Number two, if you take the ad, or if you're running Facebook ads and you're taking images from other businesses, it goes against the copyright infringements. So that's another really important thing that you don't do. Don't go inside Google and write Kevin Klein sneakers, and then you take it from the Kevin Klein website or someone else from a different company like Hughes or Net-a-Porter. You have to use the images, the product images that is on Brands Gateway, or use the premium marketing content that we create for your business. That's number one. Number two, if it's a brand new account on Facebook business, you can't, that's something I've learned when speaking to with Facebook directly with the business department, you can't increase your budget with more than 20% weekly. So if you let's say your daily budget in week number 1 is $10 a day, and then week number 2 you increase it to 50, Facebook will flag it as some kind of credit card fraud. So they have a fixed calculation where it's like, okay, it's standard with 20% per week. So also have that in consideration. Having your company details provided. A lot of dropshippers don't provide company details on it, so that they can get flagged as well for that. But in general, we have a lot of dropshippers using Google Ads, Google Shopping, Facebook, Instagram ads, TikTok ads without any issues if they follow, the guidelines from these platforms.
Thank you, Michael. There was one question for the return rate. I can't find it. How big is the return rate?
From our statistics, it's close to, I think, close to 5%. So we don't really have a high return rate. It really depends on the category, to be honest. Let me correct myself there. So it really depends on the category. But in general, overview, it's 5%. Handbags don't have a high return rate. Sunglasses, watches don't have a high return rate. Now, if it's dresses and suits, for example, then the return rate can go up to 15%. So it really depends on the category. But in general, what we see in our dashboard and our analytics dashboard, it's around 5% across all categories.
Thank you. We are already 10 minutes past 7. Yeah.
I think, but there's some people still live here, so we can, let's answer a few more.
To mention that.
There's one that has been asked several times here. Kindly confirm if the live chat can be AI generated responses. That's more of the tech thing.
Maybe that depends on the application.
Yeah, that really depends on the application. I think well, the thing is, if it's standard questions like, hey, do you offer worldwide shipping? Yes. But then if they're going to start asking about measurement questions, we get a lot of, so if your users ask, okay, I'm interested in this, I don't know, Cavalli dress, for example. What are the measurements from shoulder to shoulder, or how long are the sleeves from this Dolce & Gabbana suit? The AI can't answer that. Certain questions can be obviously automated, but when it comes to measurement questions, I don't think it can work.
Here's another question that was mentioned a few times.
Are we talking about installment for the offer? So it's a one-time payment, but depending, I think this can be discussed. So please email me regarding this question, so we can have a talk and see what we can.
Another question for Lemon Dev. What does the Lemon Dev site look like? Any demo?
Are we talking about the Lemon Dev site or about site that we built?
I think site that was developed by Lemon Dev.
Yeah, we have a couple of them. It was one from the example, the marmalade style. So that one is developed through Lemon Dev. You can check it out. Should I share it here maybe?
I think you can share some demos quickly if you like.
I send it here, right? Yes.
Or maybe you can share the screen if it's easier for you.
Of course.
In the meantime, I can answer this question.
Screen, right?
I can't.
Not yet.
Maybe we can include it in the Kiki, when you send out the email to everyone after the webinar, maybe we can include a few demo. Oh, there we go. So to answer while you're showing the screen, Daniel, there's a few users asking about the pictures that I can use for banners. So dropshipping with us, we will be. You have access to banner designs that we create, and they are updated every 2 weeks. And you'll have that from your Brands Gateway dashboard once you have an active subscription with us. And like I said, with this offer, you get it 6 months for free with Brands Gateway. But yeah, we offer image banners and video content for your social media efforts.
This is just an example of a collection page where you can see how consistent and good looking the pictures are, which they can be in various sizes, for example.
Yeah, so I'm going to answer this question as well because it's about the Shopify plugin itself. So the way the Shopify plugin works, the Brands Gateway plugin, is that everything is synchronized. So once you decide which inventory to sell or which brands, everything is synchronized. So when an item is out of stock because it was sold somewhere else, it gets automatically adjusted on your Shopify store. So you don't really have to worry about out of stock inventory. It does happen that some orders are out of stock. The number one reason for that is that you didn't place the order fast enough with us. I can quickly just show you how to. So the order automation, it does it as well. So with our Shopify plugin, it all automates. So once you get an order on your Shopify store, it's forwarded to us. So we know what you have sold and where it needs to be shipped to. All you need to do is log inside your Brands Gateway dashboard, click on orders, and then you'll see a pay button right here. So you'll see all the orders that you have from your Shopify store. You just simply log inside Brands Gateway, click on pay, and once we have received the payment from you, we have it shipped out within 24 hours. And then, like I said, I wanted to just show you the premium content again because a lot of people were asking about it here. So here's the premium content of videos that you can easily use or for Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and so on. So let me just show you quickly here. This is a perfect example.
Just to add and to mention something that we also have premium photos that actually you can use mostly for social media. So we created a lot of features, banners and designs that you can use either on the store or on the social media. So that's also something that you will have from LemonDev as well.
Yeah. So yeah, just to answer, so all of this is included in the packages, and then we have some ebooks that you can read through, and then tutorials on how to set up the mappings and so on how to use the Shopify plugin. So I hope I answered.
Here's another one for payment solutions.
Yes. So you can add more payment solutions like Klarna, Stripe, PayPal, definitely everything going through the Shopify. There are a lot of even alternatives payments, so you can choose various options there.
And then there was another question.
Sorry, Mike. This is also for LemonDev.
Yes. So we'll be guiding you through the whole process of how we can set up the specific store. So we can have a call. I can share actually, or you can send me an email through LemonDev. I will share the meeting and we can have one-on-one session for the store.
Well, they can also book a demo call with you, Daniel, through Brands Gateway as well. Okay, so let me see here. Is it possible to pick and choose? Okay, I forgot.
Can I answer one more question? Or
yeah, go for it. And then
it was a question where will you add standard terms and conditions for worldwide shipping in the store, or do we have to make them? Well, we have already a pre-designed pages for terms and conditions. We just need you to follow up on them, and we can actually create those together. So you don't need to go over them yourself, creating the standard terms and conditions, refund policy, and privacy policy. So we will be doing them together.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, you can continue.
No,
I
I clicked on defend, but it was about the product selection. So with the Shopify plugin, the way it works pretty much is that if you decide to work with Daniel, you will get a Google form sent to you asking you, okay, which categories and brands you want to import. So you
yes.
can be specific on the brands and categories. So for example, if you only want to have women products, then you can do only that. If you only want shoes, then you can be very specific with the categories and brands. Right as of now, you can't be individual products. Like I said, we have 17,000 products, so going through it will be very. It's gonna take a lot of time to do that. But if there are any products that you see in your Shopify store that you don't want to offer, just unpublish it. Simple as that. So on your Shopify store, you can simply unpublish certain products that you don't want to see on your store. So instead of doing it before installing the plugin, you simply do it afterwards once everything is imported of the brands and categories you want it to. But are there any specific products? Just unpublish them on your Shopify store. Then I just want to, because a lot of people are asking, how do I get in contact with the Lemon Dev? So I just wanted to share one here. So for drop shipping, you can read more about the Lemon Dev theme live here. And then if you decide to want to book a call with Daniel where you have more of a one-on-one session, just click here, book a call, and then you can decide the time. Right now, my time is in Arizona because that's where I'm located, but it will show you the times because Daniel is located in Europe. So at latest, I can do it at 12:30 p.m. or the earliest at 12:30 a.m. So it's going to reflect on the time zone that
Depending on where you are.
you're currently in. Yeah, depending where you are. And then I think launch your store now. This is the website. Let me see. So it's called lemon.dev, and you can read more about the services here. And you can book a call with Daniel through that as well. So I just wanted to share
Yes.
that.
Another question for order placement and forwarding, Michael. You can answer that one.
Okay. Suppose I get an order on my Shopify, does it automatically forward to you? Yeah, so the order itself, the order information, so what you have sold and where it needs to be shipped to is forwarded to from your Shopify store to Brands Gateway. The actual payment of the order, where you need to pay for the order, you do it through the Brands Gateway dashboard. So the way it works is, let's say you sold a Tommy Hilfiger sweater for $100. Okay, and our Brands Gateway price is $50. So you received $100 from your customer on, if you accept PayPal or Stripe, but let's say PayPal, you received $100 from your customer. That order, that Tommy Hilfiger sweater, where it needs to be shipped to, is forwarded to us, and you will see it inside your Brands Gateway account. All you need to do is log inside and then pay us the $50, and you keep the difference. So I hope I was clear on that.
Here's another one for payments.
For countries who can't offer, is there? Yes. So I know that. Okay, so I think PayPal is banned in the Middle East. If I remember it correctly. So there's no real limitations, especially when it comes to working. If you decide to work with Daniel, so you need to choose the payment provider that is within the region that you're operating in. So let's say they don't accept PayPal in, I don't know, I think Turkey, they don't accept PayPal. But then you just do a simple Google search, Turkey payment solution, for example, and then you have a list of Turkish payment gateways and check if they have a Shopify plugin and so on. But most, I would say, if they don't accept PayPal, most likely they'll be able to accept Stripe because Stripe is global. So I think Stripe would be also a good solution for you.
So I think this is a question Spanish, but it's translated. We can answer it that yes, we take care of the full configuration of the Shopify store. So, as we mentioned, we will guide you and teach you about everything that you need to know about the Shopify, how you can customize it, how you can create the settings inside the Shopify. So yes, we are here to help you with that.
Okay, let's see. We have a lot of questions. That's
Yeah.
fun. So what is the ratio of articles between men and women? I would say out of 17,000 products, it's almost 50-50. I would say 60% women across all categories, and then 40% men. What we sell the most of, around 70% of orders are lady products or women products, whether it's handbags, shoes, and so on. But we have seen a massive increase of men products being sold, especially the more casual categories like wallets, t-shirts, sweaters, jeans, and shorts, and so on. Yeah. Let me see. What is the average day? What is the average a day Brands Gateway customers make? This really depends on, like I said, on your marketing efforts, honestly, and how you optimize your visitors and your traffic. I can tell you, so the very, very best drop shippers, I would say the top 10 drop shippers with us, they make 6 figures a month. But that's obviously, they've been working with us for over 2 years now. We've been offering drop shipping now for, I think, almost 5 years now. June of 2018, we started with drop shipping. So yeah, we do have drop shippers that are doing 6 figures monthly. But I would say the average, I would say after 6 months or so, if you're really dedicated to starting this business and looking at the data and you're trying new things, 30 to 40,000 a month. And it really doesn't take a lot to reach those numbers. I really want to point out that selling fast fashion products or just low price products, you need to generate 40, 50 orders a day. Now, to reach 30,000 in sales with luxury brands doesn't really take that much. A Gucci handbag sells for anywhere from 800 to 1,000 euros. So that means 1 to 3 orders a day to really reach those numbers.
I shared another question here. Is there a way to generate product description automatically?
We do provide product descriptions ourselves. We are looking now into implementing, but this is, I would say, around 6 months from now. So it's nothing that's going to happen within a week. We are looking anywhere from towards the end of the year. We are looking into implementing ChatGPT with the dropshipping solution, so that the product description can be longer and it can be rewritten as well for SEO purposes, and so that all the dropshipping stores that we work with have different type of product description. So that's something that we're currently developing, but it's still, at least 6 months away. There's some.
If you see another question, you might just mark it.
Yeah, here, there's this one that we've been. Why would people buy from us if they trust shopping from the luxury brand's official website? So this is where the pricing comes into place. If you go to official branded website with any of the brands that we offer, you pay original retail price unless they have a 10 or 20% discount. The whole point with the inventory that we offer, that it's past season and you're running a luxury fashion outlet store. So the average discount that your business can offer from retail is anywhere from 30 to 50% off. So if we take a Jimmy Choo pump, it retails, let's say, at $800 or 800 euros. You would be able to sell it on your Shopify store or your e-commerce store with a 2.5 markup around 550 to 600 euros. Where your Brands Gateway wholesale price would be around 300. So the whole purpose of it is to offer luxury brands at discounted rates, pretty much operating in all outlets, an online outlet business. So that's pretty much the main reason why people would buy from you, is to get luxury brands at discounted prices. Farfetch is not a direct competitor with us because Farfetch does B2C, we do B2B. Technically, Farfetch would be, your competitors, but in the same time, we offer, the type of inventory that isn't. They offer obviously the same brands that we do, but not the type of products associated to the brands, to it. Let's see. I have 2 different stores in progress, one for fashion and one for watches and accessories. Does this mean I need to have 2 different users on BG, Brands Gateway, or more importantly, pay twice? So I'm guessing you're referring to the subscription. You do need 2 memberships with us, but we do offer 50% discount on the second membership. So in my suggestion would be, since we are offering 6 months for free with LemonDev, take that in consideration. So you get 1 membership free for 6 months, and then the second one you can get 50% off.
Okay, here is a.
Would you recommend to start with the high-end brands and then add? Do both. You have access to 17,000 products. Why not do both? Why? Because luxury, there's obviously 2 different price points, but it really depends on the users that you're targeting. But running a Shopify store and you have access to 17,000 products, why not offer them both? In that case, so let me just.
Here is another one.
I'll be back in 60 seconds. No, 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm just looking through the questions to see if there's more that need to be answered. People are excited for ChatGPT.
So there is not a monthly fee after the store is built. That actually would depend. If you add a different or other suppliers, then it will be a different setup, and then it might apply some monthly fee. But with the partnership we have with Brands Gateway, it's a one-time fee for this.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't know that the Q&A was going to last this long, so I booked the room for an hour and a half, and so new people came in, so I had to move to a different room. So sorry about that.
Okay, so one question that we had before LemonDev, before the one for LemonDev, was: is the monthly price for Brands Gateway the same independent of how many categories or products you choose to add?
It's the same price, no matter how many products and categories you decide to dropship. We are looking into changing the whole pricing structure, pay as you grow. So we're gonna have cheaper packages where it's limited on the amount of products. So the price point isn't decided yet. It's gonna be, for example, a $79 plan a month, but then you're limited to, for example, 500 products a month instead of having access to 17,000. So we're looking into that as we speak, and this will be maybe something that we implement, in a half 6 months from now, 6 or 7 months. But it's quite a lot of development involved, so you can be more specific on the products in brands. Let me see. What is the average profit margin? Let me just answer this one. From the ones that I've spoken to, because I have, weekly calls with well-performed dropship partners. The average net profit, from what I've heard, after all marketing costs and all of that, is 60%. Is the average net profit with dropshipping or inventory.
Yeah, I wanted to mark that one for languages.
To offer will be published automatically. Okay, wait, let me see it. So, is there any solutions for native languages, auto translations for names and description when publishing? So there's a two-way
Yeah.
question. So to answer the last question here, so as I mentioned previously, the Shopify plugin will keep your inventory in real time synchronized. So if something gets adjusted on Brands Gateway, it will get adjusted on your Shopify store. If something is out of stock, it will be removed from your Shopify store, be set as out of stock there. And if we add new arrivals, like I said, we add around 500 plus new arrivals every week. If you have those brands and categories mapped, or if you decided to resell these brands and categories specifically, those new arrivals will be imported to your Shopify store automatically as well. So it's nothing, there's not a lot of manual work that you need to do once you have decided which brands and categories you want to resell. And then for the languages, currently we don't have translations for different languages. We are waiting with the ChatGPT integration, because once we have done that, then we can use another third-party service to do the translation more natively. But as of now, I would say there's a lot of good Shopify plugins that can do
A lot
the
of applications
translation.
that are good to use regarding that point, definitely. Even the simplest app where you can just G Translate or Google Translate the product would be good to have it.
It seems like a lot of people are excited for the ChatGPT.
Yes.
We're working on it. It's a lot of work, but we see the benefits of it, so we are working on it. I can promise you that. Do you decide the price ranges we have to have for the item? So we do have, to avoid price wars, running down the prices, we do have a requirement of a 1.5 markup of the Brands Gateway price. But honestly, the best performing drop shippers do at least a 1.9 to 2.1 markup. Because if you have a low markup of 1.5, it doesn't give you the space or the flexibility to run promotions. So let's say there's Black Friday or Valentine's Day, or you want to do a summer sale. If you have a 1.5 markup, you really can't do a 20% store-wide discount, because it's not leaving you any profit margins. So what we have noticed, the dropshippers that do 1.5, they increase the margin to 1.8, 1.9 at least after 2 or 3 months. So my suggestion is not to go as the lowest. You don't need to be the cheapest. Okay, it's all about having a good customer journey, doing retargeting advertising, and so on, having that personal touch of customer support, as I mentioned in the previous slides. So yeah. Or at least my website card on the delivery. Do you offer? So we don't offer custom packaging. All the packages are shipped with FedEx. If you Google, FedEx or DHL boxes or packaging, you'll see the type of material that we use. We do have, your website name will be shown on the shipping label. So on the FedEx label or DHL label, it will show your company name on it. Or at least my website. We're looking into that solution where you can send us your custom packaging material. The issue is that we have 7 different warehouses that are connected to Brands Gateway, soon 8. And that means that you will have to send those custom packaging to 8 different warehouses. And my biggest fear is that the warehouse staff would add the wrong website card in the wrong package. So, so we're looking into a solution like that, but be aware that you're not sending it to one warehouse, you're sending it to 7 different warehouses.
Michael, another one for you.
Is there a way to import only certain categories of a certain brand? Yes. So with the Shopify plugin, Daniel, if you decide to work with Daniel, but if not, we do have, when you're installing the Shopify plugin, you decide first which brands you want to import, and then which categories. So let me see here if I can pull up a example
We have these questions on the onboarding
here.
form from Lemon Dev, so you can actually decide there, and we can do the work for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I can show because I only have the main. Let me see. I think this would be. Sorry, everyone. I just want to display to you how the mapping and everything works. Maybe that will clarify certain things. Here, just gonna try to find one of our
It's
demo
asking
stores.
when is the next webinar? Very soon, so stay tuned.
Switch to relations. Okay, let me just share my screen here. Let me so this is how the plugin. This looks a little bit different than if you're doing it from Shopify, because if you're doing it from Shopify, you'll have the Shopify menu here on the left, but the dashboard is exactly the same. So just to show to you a little bit of the brands filtering. So for example, here are all the brands that we offer. So if you decide not to have, I don't know, Karl Lagerfeld, you unclick it. If you don't want La Martina, you unclick that, and so on. So you select the brands that you want to resell for your store, number one. And then the way it works with the category mappings is that, let me show you here. So this is where you do the category mapping. So here are all the categories that we have from Brands Gateway. It's categorized by three ways. So main category is accessories, then the gender category is accessories men, and then we have the subcategories. So accessories men, belts, for example. So if you decide to skip certain subcategories under accessories men, let's say you want belts, then you map it to one of your Shopify collections. You add the markup. Okay, there's a duplicated one. Okay, let's take, I don't know, gloves. You add the markup of, let's say, 2.1, and then you can add a fixed shipping value. What the fixed shipping value does is that it calculates the shipping price into the product price. So technically, you can offer free shipping. So if, let's say we do this for two. So let's say a Kevin Klein T-shirt, you're selling it for 100. Okay, maybe they don't sell for $100, but let's say it's $100, and you add a fixed shipping value of $20 or 20 euros, you will be selling it for 120. So you're adding the shipping price into the product price, and that way you can technically offer free shipping. And then you simply click save. And then you will start seeing in your dashboard that, okay, products are being imported. You can see here that 17 products are going to be imported now. And you do that with all the categories you want. You can either go very specific by selecting one subcategory at a time, or if you want to have an entire category, like for example, all the bags, doesn't matter if it's men and women, you just select this. You select which collection it should be imported to in your Shopify store. You decide the markup and so on. Or if you want to only do men bags, you only click there, and then all the men bags that are associated, all the subcategories that are associated under men bags will be imported. And you can be very, very specific in that way. And like I said in the previous question, if you find products that you don't want to have in your Shopify store, you can simply unpublish them in Shopify. So I hope I was clear there about that. So
We have one for returns.
about for returns from customer, must customer pay back the sending to where it's coming from or to a central address? So we have all our warehouse. We only have one warehouse outside of the EU, and that's in the US in Tampa, Florida, where most of the American brands are being uh, shipped out to. Oh, sorry, I was losing a little bit there. So most of them are located in Europe. So the returns will be within a European warehouse. The way returns work is that you notify us through chat support, email, or WhatsApp. You tell us, okay, there's the order number, there's the product that I wish to return. We'll send you the return address. Or secondly, you can also buy the return label from us. That way, we'll just send you a PDF file with the shipping label, and you can just forward it to your customer and they paste it on the box and drop it off. So, but if I want to import, for example, only shoes from DMG, how do I do that without any clothing? Okay, let me share my screen here. So let's take this as an example. So if you only want to do the brand Dolce & Gabbana, let's say you only want to do DMG, you go to the brand filtering, and you pretty much unselect all the brands besides Dolce & Gabbana. So everything will be unselected besides Dolce & Gabbana. That's number one. If you only decide to sell D&G products. And then you go back to the category mapping. So what was the question? Was it that they only wanted to sell, let me see here.
They only want to import shoes from Dolce & Gabbana without clothing.
Okay, in that case, you just map the shoes. So you look for the categories here, shoes here. So you can decide all the shoes, so both men and women's shoes, or you can decide only men's shoes. And then you can break it down even more that you only want men's shoe sneakers, for example. And then you add another mapping. And then let's say you only want to do sandals for men as well. And then you map this one. And then you keep doing that, because if you don't have clothing mapped here, it's not going to import the products. So if you don't have clothing, any of the clothing categories mapped, none of the products associated to the category will be imported to your store. So I'm making myself clear here. Let me see. Okay. I forgot to choose something here. So let's say you want to sell the clothing, women dresses. This is how you do it. Now, dresses under clothing women are going to be imported to your store, and you can follow the import from the dashboard. So here you can see that 98 products are 150. So if you keep updating it, you can see that 225 products will be imported to your store, 300 and so on. So I hope I was clear. I don't know who answered that question, but let me know. Finish answering. Let me see.
No, I marked another question, Mike.
Sorry.
No, not a problem. How can you calculate the shipping price if we sell in different countries?
Yeah, so we have a flat rate shipping fee per warehouse. So the standard shipping cost within Europe is 25 euros, like $26 maybe. Outside of Europe we usually say a flat rate fee of 35 euros. On some shipments, you might go plus. On some shipments, you might go minus. But because of the large profit margins with our inventory, you're selling, let's say, a Versace Medusa bag where your profit was 300 euros. If you go minus 7 euros on the shipping, it's not the end of the world. So I always say that to drop shippers is that you might go a little bit minus on shipping, but you already made a massive profit on the actual product. Kids, will you be able to add in kids? It's currently not, I'm going to be honest, it's currently not on the roadmap because it's very hard to run an e-commerce store and offer both adult products and kids products. So in that case, we would have to separate Brands Gateway in that sense. And the demand is not very high from a B2B and a wholesale perspective. It's not high enough for us to start sourcing that. So as of now, it's nothing that is within our roadmap this year.
Here's another question. I saw this twice, I think.
About the Shopify plugin, can we install and test it before get the real subscription? The way with the Shopify public app works, unfortunately, it's not possible. First, you need to install the plugin, and then you choose the monthly and yearly plan, and then you can do the actual import of the products. The reason why, because a lot of people ask us about free trials. Why don't you offer free trials? And the main reason is honestly that if we offered free trials, let's say 14 days free trials, we would probably have at least 1,000 Shopify stores installing the plugin. And what it would do, it would overfill the market with our inventory. And that's something that obviously we're trying trying to avoid, is that 1,000 businesses install the plugin, they populate the online market, and then they delete it and so on. So that's pretty much the main reason why we don't offer free trials. But we do have tutorial videos on YouTube. If you want to see how the plugin works, how to install the plugin, just check out our YouTube channel, Brands Gateway. We have our Olivera that works in the support team. She has done amazing tutorial videos on how everything works.
I marked another question.
For paid ads, can we sell online under our brand without copyright troubles? Not sure if I understand that question completely. You can, obviously you can advertise your brand. If you're talking about your brand as the Shopify business, yes, you can. You can advertise your Shopify, your online business. The only way that you're gonna get issues with copywriting is if you take the content from other businesses or from the brands itself. Let me see, maybe did it freeze there for a second? I don't know if the internet
Yes,
connection.
something happened for me too, but just for a second.
Yeah, so just to circle back, so you're not going to have any copyright issues if you're using the images that we have on Brands Gateway and the marketing resource, the premium content that we provide. Don't go inside Google, write, I don't know, Jimmy Choo sneakers, and then go on their website and take their banner designs. That goes against the copyright infringements.
Let me see. I think I saw one that maybe Daniel can answer, but I'm not sure that I understand it fully.
Disappearing from the website. Each time I need to update tag to back it. Any advice how to fix it? Really depends on what you're importing, but if you create a collection with the proper tags, it should be working. Please be careful when creating the automated collections and the tags, so that might be not working correctly. So you can send me an email, or definitely actually send me an email so we can maybe take a better look.
Okay, here's another one, and I think that we should be finishing soon.
How do we sell on platforms like eBay and Amazon? So there's several ways you can do this. So there's 3 ways really. One is that I'm pretty sure that eBay has a plugin to Shopify and WooCommerce and so on. So you can simply install their plugin for Shopify. You might have to do some field mappings. Same thing with Amazon. Secondly, you can use our CSV file that updates every 3 hours if you want to import it in bulk. The third option that I think a lot of dropshippers are using are third-party integration platforms like Channel Advisor, Channel Engine. Cello is another one. There's quite a lot of companies like that. If you go inside Google and write Shopify eBay integrations or eBay bulk imports, you're going to get a lot of third-party platforms that that can help you with it. But there's a lot of marketplaces that are not just eBay and Amazon. The best drop shippers, they're the ones that are focusing more on national marketplaces. So that's another tip, that think outside the box, not just eBay and Amazon. They're great marketplaces, but there is, Poshmark in the US. There's Depop as well. There's a lot of them. What is that? Bonanza is another one. There's hundreds of marketplaces that everyone can sell. Oh yeah, what about selling on resale platforms like Grail, Poshmark? That's perfectly fine. Is it advisable to create an app for online shopping in addition? Let me just. I know that you said the last question, but I like these questions.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do another. Let's do until 11 a. Like, let's do another 6 minutes. It's 11 a.m. for me then. Is it advisable to create an app for online shopping? It's expensive,
Yeah,
in my opinion. Yeah, you have to
we
advertise that
mentioned that
app. I don't know, Daniel, maybe you can answer
yeah,
that
we
one.
mentioned that into the presentation. That's why you will have a responsive team, or developed across all the devices. So it's pretty much the same. It doesn't make maybe a lot of sense to create a separate, and then you need to market only for the mobile. So it's a double the trouble.
Okay, so this is for the recording. As I mentioned, you will get a recording by email together with the offer. So you can rewatch the webinar if you want. Here is another one that I marked.
How can we avoid it? To enter a price wars if they sell the same products without. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't completely understand the question. So, one of the biggest misconceptions is that you need to be the cheapest of what you're reselling. It doesn't have to be with the inventory that we have. Take it of, I don't know, anything from AliExpress, anything really. You don't need to be the cheapest to generate, a massive amount of sales. We have drop shippers that are almost selling it in retail value. It's all about your targeting, your marketing, advertising, your retargeting, how you're connecting to your users, what you're doing on social media. It's more about the trust and having a trustworthy store and service more than the actual, running the price to the bottom. Really, it's not a sustainable business trying to run the prices to the bottom where you're only making 20 euros on a 1,000 euro product. That's not something that you should be focusing on. So focus more about, okay, what can I do to improve the customer journey? What can I do to have reoccurring customers? A very interesting statistics is that I spoke to one of our drop shippers this on Monday from the UK. 60% of his customers are reoccurring customers within 90 days. And I thought that was amazing. And he's very, very, extremely accessible to his customers because he has a WhatsApp business account. He has a live chat. And I'm just wondering if Daniel, you're the one that built his Shopify store. I'm pretty sure that you built a Shopify store. And it's so much more behind the scenes on what you offer. It's not just about running the prices down. Really, it really isn't. Will brands give support for their customers to speak with each other and share their knowledge? Will brands give support for their customers? I'm guessing.
I think it means for the drop shippers to basically share their knowledge and experience.
We've been trying to convince our top drop shippers to do it. They're a little bit hesitant about it, but luckily, I think the next webinar, we're gonna have two of our best drop shippers discussing about how they succeeded with our inventory. The webinar is gonna be probably in 2 months from now. I've already they reached out to them. One dropshipper specializes in Shopify. He just has a Shopify store. That I know 100% that you, Daniel, developed, and he does around mid-high 5 figures a month. And then we have another dropshipper that will be joining the webinar that only sells on marketplaces, and they do between 5 and 6 figures a month as well. So the next webinar is going to be of a panel discussion as what we did now, but actually with 2 active, successful dropshippers. Okay, our dropshippers.
They tend to have more. I can answer actually this question if you like. So
Yeah.
definitely having the shops on Shopify or the website, they, as Michael mentioned, they use an application and sell them via various marketplaces, but they always come back to the website to purchase the items. Not usually they can go through like eBay or Amazon or depending on what they're using, but they can come back to the website and buy the products. So both would be the best answer to have.
Yeah, just to capitalize on it, Shopify. If you're selling directly on your Shopify store, obviously you have higher profit margins because websites like Amazon and eBay, they take commission of 20% of your sales. So it's a give and take really. With Shopify, you have to obviously invest more in marketing, but then you own the customer. So there's the difference between marketplaces and Shopify really. On Shopify, you own the customer data really, so you can retarget them. You can do personal outreach and so forth. So you have a bigger chance of having reoccurring clients if you're doing it through your Shopify business. Where marketplaces, you might have a one-time sell, and eBay or the marketplace gave you that customer, but you don't own the customer technically. So it's a give and take, honestly. So I think let's call it. We have a lot more questions, but anyone, please, if you have questions about Brands Gateway, reach out to us on support@brandsgateway.com. We have a live chat as well. Book a demo call if needed, but otherwise,
you can find us on the email, on our website, through Brands Gateway. So feel comfortable to contact us through any of those. We can have a Google Meet or a one-on-one session, whatever. So we can actually guide you to the process of how we can create a store for you.
So I think that this was a very interesting and engaging discussion. So thank you everyone for staying until the end. Thank you, Michael and Daniel as well. As I mentioned, the recorded version of the webinar will be sent to you by email tomorrow together with the offer. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just book a call as Michael and Daniel mentioned, or reach out through the emails that you see here on the last slide.
One more shout out though, really take the opportunity of this offer. This is the first time with Brands Gateway history where we offer 6 months for free. Daniel will deliver a professional Shopify store. And this is only available for the first 20 signups. So really take the chance of this opportunity. It's 6 months, that's $1,800 that we're giving you for free with the Lemon Dev package. So take that in consideration. And yeah, thank you, Kiki, Daniel, for entertaining this webinar. And yeah, have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ciao.